Welcome to Wavemaker's Audio Plays. I'm your host, Hillary Muckovitz. Every month we bring you a brand new audio play. Here's how it works. This past June, all of our writing teams were given 6 weeks to write a 15 to 30 minute audio play for a team of 3 actors. Each writer was given a sound prompt and a setting they had to use in their script. Today, we are taking a surreal road trip with Austin by Justin Spanbauer. The setting was road trip. This was the sound effect. The actors are Michelle Jorgensen, Hillary Muckovitz, and Susie Tillman. A content reminder, this is an episode with adult language and activities. That being said, fasten your seatbelts and let's go to Austin by Justin Spanbauer.
My name is not important.
I don't believe that.
I understand that.
But I'll tell my story anyway.
It doesn't matter.
It matters more than anything.
For 27 years, every night of my adult life, each day ended the same way. When the time was right, in the glow of the reading lamp beside me, I would rise from my side of the bed, and as elegantly as I could, I would say, "I have to go pee." And beside me, buried in whatever nonfiction was currently trendy, my husband, without glancing up from his page, would respond,
"Make sure
You come back.
The same routine, night after night, year after year. I would say, "I have to go pee," and my husband would casually respond,
make sure
You come back.
and when my husband said,
make sure
You come back.
after I said, "I have to pee," I would give him a knowing smile. I found my way down the silent hall past the empty bedrooms to the bathroom. I would pee, like I said, and then I would return to him with a Cheshire cat grin. And he would say, "Looks like you found your way back."
Every night.
for 27 years. Looks like you've
Found your way back.
It was a habit.
It was playful.
It was pathetic.
It was whimsy.
It was worry.
It was just,
The way
It was.
and then one night,
it was a Thursday.
It was a bad day.
I rose from my bed,
And she cast off her bindings.
Her blankets.
Whatever.
and I rose
From
the dead.
from my bed, and I said,
I have to go pee.
and he said,
Make sure you come back.
and their voices were clearer than ever. And it made me wonder, is coming back an option? Do I have a choice? Is he saying, "Make sure you come back," because he fears that I won't? For 27 years, I always went to pee, and I always came back. I mean, sure, it was cute the first time he said it, but for the next 27, it didn't really need to be said. I made sure I came back. He didn't need to remind me. But the years went on,
Our voices
Got louder.
and then one night I didn't make sure I came back. I kept walking, past the bathroom and down the stairs, out the door into the cool night. It was as if I was being moved by something outside my consciousness,
She followed the sound of our voices into the unknown.
and I had physically left 27 years later. What happens next is my story to tell, at least how I remember it. In a fugue state, I glided forward until nearly breaking my neck tripping over the neighbor kid's football. Every goddamn day he kicked that thing into our yard. I snapped out of the trance. I was suddenly aware of my surroundings. I wasn't possessed. I was me. And I was on the ground next to the football.
Throw it back over the fence.
piss on it.
And I did what the voice told me, after doing what the voice told me. And when I looked up, I saw 2 beams of light coming from the headlights of a black car. I moved towards the car. Suddenly, I was standing in front of 2 identical women. 2 women who were identical to me. I asked them their names.
My name is Constance.
Constance. Sounds like conscience. And you look exactly like me.
It's probably just a coincidence.
My name is Idia.
Well, I'm not sure what that could be referring to.
Nothing important, I'm sure.
I couldn't help but trust them. Why are you here? What do you want from me?
We want everything that you want.
Get into the car. We're going on a road trip.
And so I did. For a few minutes, we sat in silence. I could feel the car moving, but I couldn't bring myself to look outside the windows.
I can't believe this is happening. I always wondered if it could.
But you did it. You finally walked away.
I never really planned for this. I never thought it was possible.
It reminds me of that country song.
Goodbye, Earl.
No, not that one.
At least not yet.
It's called Austin.
Can you play it for me?
No.
Why not?
It's not royalty free.
Okay, well, what's it about?
It's heartbreaking. It's about a woman. She leaves her man. He thinks she's gone to Austin. She keeps talking about going back to Austin, and he yearns for her. You can hear it in his voice. For months and months, silence. And then one day she calls him. And this is where it gets good. At the end of the recording on his answering machine, he says, "If this is Austin, I still love you."
Sounds like a sensitive soul for a country singer. I assumed they were all toxic.
And he literally drops the phone. She cannot believe it. He must really love her.
And then what happens?
Later.
What?
This story isn't about some stupid country song. It's about you.
What about me?
Everything about you. That's why you're here, right? You had to have a plan, right? You left your husband. You left your life. There must be a reason for that, right?
No. It just sort of happened.
Well, that's not a very good reason.
Well, we can make a reason.
We can?
Of course we can. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Well, maybe we should turn around. Look, I didn't really think this through. I don't do things like this. I just try and be normal. Drop me off back at my house. My husband won't even notice I've been gone. It's only been 10 minutes.
It's been more than 10 minutes.
Look around you.
And out the window I saw stars. I saw streaks of light and expanses of fog. I saw everything I've ever known and things I can't even begin to describe. Is this space?
And time.
It's been more than 10 minutes for us.
How?
Something to do with the speed we're traveling and the distance we've gone. We can't really explain it.
We could ask AI, but I couldn't live with the guilt.
It's been longer than you know.
Where are we going? What are you doing?
Anywhere you want. Anything you want.
I can tell you're struggling with this. That's okay. Let's start with something simple. What is your dream?
I don't think I have any dreams.
Of course you do. It doesn't have to be grandiose, it just has to be.
What do you see before you fall asleep?
Darkness?
Not literally.
In your mind's eye.
My nights are chaos, let me tell you. Once the lights go off, I'm like trapped in my brain. It's just so loud. Not just my brain, but everything. Well, you think nighttime should be still and quiet, but holy shit, the noise is deafening. Crickets, hundreds of them. You never hear them during the day. Probably because they are sleeping. And you know, they probably think the same thing about us. Crickets are probably like, humans need to shut the fuck up, it's noon. And then the sirens every goddamn night. It drives me insane. Crime should be illegal at night. I think about all that stuff and then I take a pill.
Ambien?
I don't speak Spanish. Anyways, the pill helps me get through the night.
Now think. What is the last thing you see before you drift off?
I think I see Italy.
Italy.
Or Greece. Europe. I don't know. Someplace different. With water. And peace. I've always wanted to live there, you know?
Look no further.
And all of a sudden there was light. We were no longer driving through a vast expanse of madness. We were driving past buildings. Buildings with history. Streets with stories. people with purpose. Marketplaces adorned with cured meats and bins of fresh produce. A single chimney bellowed black smoke.
No luck today.
This is what I see, but this is what I dream. Or at least I used to. And then it was black again. We were driving again through the mass of chaos. Why can't we go back?
You said you didn't have dreams.
I don't. I mean, I used to when I was young. I always wanted to study abroad. It didn't really matter where. It was all I could do but dream.
And then what happened?
I don't know. I grew up. I settled down. I guess I just missed out. I think it's okay to have dreams that you know won't come true. I got new dreams.
Maybe we're thinking too big.
That has to be it. Forget dreams. Think smaller. Just tell us something you want to do.
Anything.
Well, I've always wanted to crack a bullwhip.
Crack a bullwhip?
Don't make fun of me. My husband always did. I was looking for hobbies. I was never good at keeping plants alive. I could never listen to someone explain a board game to me. Every time I try and start a craft that takes more than 1 hour, I would obsess for that 1 hour only to abandon it forever.
I'm still lost about the bullwhip.
We went to a fair, and there was this one-man show. This guy was dressed like a cowboy. He would, lasso these fake cows and stand on a platform before cracking a whip. It was effortless, but so loud. I went home and looked him up on YouTube. He had a whole channel dedicated to bullwhipping. His forearms were massive. He would explain different types of whips and which ones were good for beginners and which ones cracked the loudest. And it was so random, but there was a whole wide world of whips to discover.
So why didn't you do it?
Because my husband told me not to. He thought it was dumb and dangerous. He thought it was a waste of time and money.
To be fair, it does sound actually dangerous.
I know. Maybe he was right. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it, though. I'm not very good at physical stuff like that. I probably couldn't even get it to make a sound, and then it would get lost in the garage for the rest of eternity. I just thought it would make me feel something to hear that whip crack, to make such a powerful noise with my own hands. Maybe that's a dream.
Open the glove box.
What?
Tonight is different. Tonight is the night you walked away. You've had 27 years worth of nights where everything stayed the same. Tonight is the night when you can do anything. Maybe you're right. Maybe Europe is too big. But a bullwhip? Why not tonight?
I opened the glove compartment and saw it. A braided leather cord wound in a tight loop ending in a firm handle. I held the bullwhip in my hands and felt its weight, light enough to twirl with one arm, but heavy enough to change my life.
What now?
I thought for a moment and then said, "Tell me, what happens next in that song, Austin?"
Does it matter?
I think it might.
It definitely does. Okay, so when we left off, she dropped the phone. She couldn't believe after all this time he was hanging on. But she needed to collect herself. It took her 3 days to get the courage to call again. And this time, his answering machine was different.
I bet this time it didn't say, "I still love you."
Well, the first time it was just like, "I'm gonna be bowling Tuesday" and stuff like that. And this time it was, "I'm going fishing this weekend."
He updated it daily like that? Just telling people what he was doing? What the hell kind of person does that?
It was the 90s. They just kind of did stuff like that, I guess. But anyways, at the end, he said it again. "If this is Austin, I still love you."
Yawn! She just got a fucking bullwhip. And you're going on about an old country song that has nothing to do with anything.
The car jolted to a stop and we stepped out into an empty field. Tall grass bent in the wind and made a dry rustling noise, but it was otherwise silent as we stood in the moonlight.
Crack that whip!
I'm not sure I know how.
Didn't you watch a YouTube video?
Yeah, once, I guess, but it was a long time ago. I didn't go through with the learning, remember?
This is important.
Important? It's just a stupid hobby.
No, it isn't.
Someone convinced you that it was a stupid hobby, but tonight you told us it was a dream.
I don't care about my dreams. I told you about the whip because I couldn't think of anything better. Maybe it's not the whip that's my dream. Maybe my dream is just to have passion for something, to be good at something. And the idea of it, of making that cracking sound with just the bend of my arm, I don't know. I thought it would make me feel power.
It's in your hands.
She was literally right. I stared down at the coiled whip in my hand, and in that moment I did feel power. I thought that cracking the whip would awaken something bold in me. Maybe the sound would invigorate my senses. It felt to me as if the act of cracking the whip is exactly the piece of me that was missing. When I heard the whip crack, I would become whole. And so, in one fluid motion, I raised my arm high into the air, and in the briefest moment, I could swear the tip gleamed in the moonlight. And with all the strength I had, and maybe even a little I thought I didn't, I hurled my arm towards the ground. My eyes snapped shut, and my ears were met with the sound of...
Nothing.
Well, not nothing, just a damp, dull plop from the earth below. I tried again and again. Idia and Constance watched patiently as I flailed over and over, but no crack, no power.
We don't have to keep trying if you don't want to.
No, I mean, now that I'm here, now that I'm holding it, I really think this is it. I really think I can't go on until I make that fucking noise.
We have all the time in the world. Let's dream even smaller.
Smaller than this?
There must be something more mundane. Baby steps. Something you want to do, need to do.
A party.
Like some kind of lavish ball?
Or like a wild Washington Coke orgy?
No, nothing like that. Just a college basement party, a kegger.
And why would we go there?
It's just a place, a small place I've never been.
I don't think you're missing much.
You don't know that. My sister was 4 years older than me. She came home on the weekends and told me all these wild stories. This was right when Facebook came out. Each one was an event. She took hundreds of pictures. Everyone looked so happy and energized.
That doesn't mean anything. You ever watch someone take a selfie? The next time you're somewhere fun, or popular, or beautiful, take a step back and watch people. Within 5 minutes, you'll see someone pull their phone out and take a selfie. Watch their face. When the camera's pointed at them, they look their absolute best. They glow like nothing could possibly be wrong. But the instant that photo snaps, their face revolts. It's as if gravity comes back into effect and every single muscle in their entire being droops back to where it should be. Even further, they melt back to reality, back to no one watching.
Okay, but I still want to go. I've never been. I was always such a rule follower. The only time I ever drank was a disaster. My sister left a wine cooler in the fridge, and I was curious. One wine cooler, and I was throwing up in the bathtub. But then I remembered I had taken codeine that morning from getting my wisdom teeth out a few days before.
I think you underestimate the depravity of it.
I'm trying to think small.
Whatever you want.
And we took off. The same odd lights and patches of smoke whizzed by in a ride that could have been 1 minute or 100. We exited the car and walked into a warm and musty basement. Idia gave me a beer that was just as warm and musty as the room itself. I sipped it in the corner and watched as bodies writhed against each other in the echoes of what some would describe as music. After some time, I began to feel nauseous. I pulled Constance and Idia aside and said, I have to go pee.
We'll go with you.
I told them they were right, that this was stupid. This party didn't do anything for me. I feel so disgusting.
Take a shower.
It would make you feel better.
A shower? What, here at a party?
Why not?
Because it's weird.
How is it weird? These people have opened their home to you. They don't fault you for using their toilet. They don't blame you for using their sink. What the hell is the difference if you use the shower?
And even though my brain told me there was a difference, her point was oddly compelling. Honestly, I was happy to be convinced. And as I stood in the scalding water, my mind became lighter, as if it too were being scrubbed from the grime of the world's longest night. Back in the car, my mind was racing. How long had it been? What did my husband think? Was the world looking for me? Were there search parties? A reward? Too many questions, such as, Constance, how does that song end?
Okay, so the second time she called, she was prepared. She left her phone number as a message, but not another word. And then all weekend she waited until he was done fishing. And then when her phone rang, she pretended that she was an answering machine. And she said, "If you're calling about my heart, it's still yours." She was so sorry for leaving him, and at the end said, "This is Austin, and I still love you."
It's a bullshit song and a bullshit story.
I think it's sweet.
That's what they want you to think, but they only tell you what they want you to hear. They don't tell you what their life was like before she went to Austin. Had to be rocky if she just left him cold in the middle of the night. And then she didn't even call him for like a year? And what do you think she was getting up to in Austin? I'll let you use your imagination. And you know that's her goddamn right. She deserved to do whatever she wanted. But this piece of shit guy manipulates her with a stupid answering machine message. You think he was on his best behavior the whole time? Doubt it. I bet he was just guilting her to come back. Bet he knew she would fold when she heard it, and I bet they had real passionate night when she came back. But what happens 2 weeks later? What happens when he confronts her about why she left? Does he get mad when he finds out that she was slutting around Texas? Does he hold that against her? Was he really a changed man? Happily ever after? I sincerely doubt it.
I think it's time to go home.
As you wish.
And just like that, we were in front of my home. It was as if time had never passed, but I knew in my gut that it had. How long have we been gone?
Long enough to change your life.
I turned to thank Constance and Idia, but they had gone.
But they were
Not forgotten.
And as I walked up the stairs in the dark, years and years after walking away, I wondered, what would be said? What would be left to say? Maybe he was sleeping.
Maybe he was dreaming.
Maybe he was dead.
Would he yell?
Would he cry?
Would he die?
I didn't know what to expect. I had said, I have to go pee, and he responded,
Make sure
You come back.
but that night I didn't. And although for 27 years, every night I said, I have to go pee, and he said,
Make sure
You come back.
and when I did come back, he would say, looks like you found your way back. Just a stupid little routine that had grown old with us. But tonight was different.
It had been years.
I had walked away.
We were gone for so long. We only told you about the important parts.
And now I stood, after all this time, waiting to see what my new life would be like.
Maybe it would go wrong.
Maybe it would be like that song.
I wonder if he would say,
I still love you.
My hand was shaking as I turned the knob. My other hand was gripping something tight, but I don't know what. I was too focused on what came next. And this time when I walked into the room, he looked up from his book. Our eyes met. For the first time in a long time. My story was short, but my absence had been long. He held my gaze, and perhaps I was naive, but I was not prepared when he said to me,
Looks like you've
Found your way back.
and he turned the page and continued to read. And even though I had been physically absent from this place for so long, I knew I wasn't the only one who walked away that night.
And what happened next?
All that time I had suffered in silence, so I left. And then I heard that song, and I thought it could be like my life. But life isn't always like a song. Sometimes the writer only tells you what you want to hear. But I wanted to hear something else. I wanted to hear my life change, for real this time, because leaving had not been enough. So what happened next? After 27 years, and then some more time away, I made my dream come true.
You've been listening to Austin by Justin Spanbauer, featuring Michelle Jorgensen as Woman, Hilary Muckovitz as Constance, and Susie Toman as Idia. If you want to hear more of Susie, check out our sister podcast, Scary Movie Bookcast. The latest episode is Pet Cemetery. Music included our theme song Ghost Dance, Heart of Nowhere, Shores of Avalon, Space Explorers, and The Rule by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Check out our show notes for a complete listing of credits for all our sound effects. The Wavemaker's assistant director is Jax Clace. Jax! Thanks for helping keep Wavemakers afloat. And of course, special thanks to our bear whose natural habitat is a Studebaker, Benjamin Gartman. If you've enjoyed what you've heard this season, why not recommend Wavemakers to a friend or give us a review on Apple Podcasts? Help us get our nifty 50 and get listeners in all 50 states. We're already up to 33. If you know someone that might enjoy the podcast in Kansas, Maine, or Massachusetts, how about sending a link their way? Next month, we'll have a change of pace with a Christmas special featuring all of our Season 2 actors. Homes for the Holidays by Hilary Muckovitz. Wavemakers audio plays are recorded and edited by me, Hilary Muckovitz, here in the Malibu of the Midwest, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep making waves.